Right, so if you're starting an agency today or you're growing an agency, I think you're really lucky because we live in a time where it's so easy to hire specialists in almost any line of work. And why this is good for agencies, it's because you can hire contractors super quick. You know, it's the vendor economy, it's the freelance economy. You can go on Upwork, Fiverr, you can hire people to do units of work super quick. And that means you can focus on growing your agency, getting clients. Now, let's put this together and let's think about what is the best way to grow your agency? What is the best way to scale your agency? If you're just starting today, you want to sell SEO, AI services, design services, web development, cold email, automations, whatever it might be. What is the best way to approach this? And I think right here, I've got the master plan, and this is going to be the way that you scale fast. There's no other way to do it as far as I can tell. So the way this will happen is you first need an offer. So this will not work if you're just going to start an agency and start a website saying, I do everything. I do everything for anyone, and just call me, book a call, and we'll talk about it. I'll send you a quote. You're not going to scale fast. You'll make $1,000, $2,000 a month, but you're just about cover your time by being a everything for everything agency. So what you need to do is productize. Some people don't like the word productize, so projectize. Define your offer. And what does this mean? It means, so whatever it is that you want to do, let's say you want to do SEO for lawyers, or you want to do SEO for dentists, or you want to do AI services for accountants. Pick something that's definable and something that you can really market. And you don't want to have more than 2 or 3 options. Ideally, you'll have one offer with a couple of different flavors, a couple of different upgrades or whatever, and you want to stick to that. And that's what you market. That's what you sell. You go to people with the solution. You don't let people come to you with a problem. This is the way you scale, because you can then build a process based on your solution. And you go to people with the solution. You say, hey, we can get you X amount more leads. We can automate this process for you. We can give you 10 creatives every week. Whatever the offer is, it's got to be based on a problem that exists. And this is where your market research comes into it. Maybe you already know the problem, but the whole agency will scale faster if you've got an offer that's defined. So you need that. And then you need to know who is doing what in the agency. So when you start, maybe you're just one person. Now, the traditional way of running an agency would be you hire people in your office and you hire someone to do, let's say, SEO, because that's what I know quite well, but you hire someone to do link building, you hire someone to do content writing, you've got a team of 4 or 5 people, you're trying to scramble around getting clients. Even worse, you're one person, you're doing all the work yourself, which I still see to this day. I see people starting agencies and they're the one person in the agency because they just started. They're getting work, but then they're doing the work themselves. You can't grow if you're doing the work yourself. You can't grow because you need to be out there getting clients. You need to be on client calls. You need to be selling the service while other people are doing the work, because the highest leverage point of your agency when you start is getting the clients, setting the strategy, and then you let other people do the work. So you can set the strategy in-house. Like you've done this with productizing the offer. You set the strategy, you set the standards, you set the deliverables. And then once you've got that, you outsource that. Where do you find people to outsource it to? Well, first of all, I wouldn't hire anyone on the payroll. Why? Because it's not scalable. If you get 10 clients tomorrow, 20 clients tomorrow, you need to onboard and hire people, wait for their notice to finish. Maybe they need training. Instead, you can go on Upwork, you can go on onlinejobs.ph, you can go on Fiverr. You can find people already doing the thing that you're selling to your clients, and they can do it tomorrow for a set price. Now, you need to have this price in mind. You need to have how much you're going to pay them, because you need to know the profit you're going to make. You can't pay all of your freelancers different prices either, because that's going to be hard to calculate. You need to know exactly what you can pay to get the promise done. Now, if it was SEO, for example, you could obviously hire someone to do X amount of links. You could hire someone to do X amount of pieces of content. Stuff that's intimate to the client, you might want to do yourself still, but it doesn't take a lot of time. So decide what parts you need to do, what parts you need to outsource. But the main key here is you're not doing all of the work. Ideally doing none of the work. You're just setting the strategy, and then you are outsourcing those deliverables. And then if we just go for a few examples of this. So like example, SEO services, you set up an SEO agency, you set the strategy in-house. That'll be based on this productized offer. So if you're selling SEO for dentists, you've already got the strategy. You've got the strategy for how this will be done. Maybe it's you do a content plan, and then you get content writers to write the content. Then you've got link building. So you set the strategy, and then you've got a vendor for each of these parts. Maybe you've got one vendor that does all of them. But you can't be spending time doing this work. If you are, you're not going to scale. Especially in the early days, you need to be getting more and more clients, because the only way a business grows is you get more clients or keeping the clients. If you're spending time doing the work, you're at risk. I've got a note here to do like intimate stuff in-house, and that sounds a bit weird, but what I mean is like stuff to do with the client's website, stuff to do with like on-site stuff. If you've got any of that in your offer, maybe do that yourself, wait till you've got someone in-house on the payroll in your team to do that kind of stuff, because you don't want contractors that aren't tied to your company doing this stuff. And then you may ask, well, why is it okay for contractors to do links and content? Well, stuff that's deliverable, stuff that's like doesn't involve any other part or intimate part of the client. Someone can write a piece of content based on a brief, and they don't need to like have the overall strategy in their head. Someone can build a link for a client, with a criteria of what the link should be. That link builder doesn't need to know the overall strategy of the client. So you can use vendors for those kind of things. You'll probably in the early days collect the reports yourself, and then eventually, once you've got enough clients, you can hire an in-house operator, manager, who will do the intimate stuff, manage the vendors, collect the reports, while you are getting more and more clients. Can you see how this is going to fit into a nice little system? And I can do this for any kind of industry. If you've got an AI service, you can find someone who does these automations while you're getting the clients. But you're setting the standards. You've got the understanding of it. We can do it for a video editing service here. So set the standards of the video editing in-house, hire contractors based on those standards, pay them a uniform cost, quality control them, and then you're just going out and getting the clients and selling them this service. And eventually you can hire a manager to do all the quality control and do the hiring. You've got to be the one who's sitting on top of your business and getting the clients. If you're doing the work, you've just got another job, you're a freelancer. And that's not what you want when you started an agency, I'm sure. So how to get the clients now? So once you've got the offer, obviously you can spend months doing your little website and creating a logo and all this stuff, but I wouldn't bother. You can create a website very easily these days with Card. So if I just go to Card, you can build a beautiful website with Card and just put your offer on it. If you want to make it look so beautiful, you can use a Google Doc. You can just basically use AI if you want, lovable.dev and ask it to spin up a site. But you don't need to spend hours making your site look beautiful. Clients don't care. No one cares. The only person that cares is you. You don't need a logo. You can just use text. So yeah, you need some way to have this offer available to see, whether that's on a doc or website or Card or whatever. And then getting clients. If you've got money, ads. If you haven't got money, cold email. And with cold email, the goal is to get them to reply. So don't get them to get on a call. Don't get them to buy anything. Just get them to reply. And the way that you do this and the way that this can work in many industries is you ask them, you say that you've recorded something personal about a problem you found on their website. Yeah, so this can work in any industry. So it can work in SEO. You can say, hey, I've spotted a few ranking opportunities for your website. Is this the best email to send a Loom to? Something like that. Or if you're doing design for ads or whatever, hey, I've seen your ads in Facebook. I've got a few ideas on how these can convert better. Is this the best email to send a Loom to? Right, so people will read that and go, hey, well, I'm really curious to know what this guy is saying I've got a problem with. If you're selling AI automations or AI services or whatever, hey, I've spotted this opportunity that can be solved with AI. Is this the best email to send a Loom to? You can personalize this. There's tools to personalize it and stuff like that. But I think that works pretty well. We've had a lot of success doing that kind of thing, the kind of Loom idea. I do have a video on the channel about getting clients with Loom if you want to search for it. Once you send the Loom, you can have a call to action in the Loom, which goes to an offer or it can go to a call. That would be up to you. It depends on your offer. I mean, if it's sort of low ticket, you can send them straight to the offer. If it's high ticket, you want to get them on a call so you can explain it a bit more. Yeah, and that'll be the best way to go through cold email. Getting the list for cold email, obviously it depends on your target market, but if you're targeting dentists in America, you can easily get a list of all the dentists in America and you can email them all. It probably take a couple of months to email them safely. And yet you'd probably have 2 or 3, 4 or 5 clients very easily from cold email. But yeah, that's one way to do it. The next way would be to use, lost my screen, use ads. So ads I love because it's really fast, it's really quick. And using Google Ads, you can actually advertise on things that people are searching for you. So if you're selling link building for dentists might be searching link building for dentists, SEO for dentists, marketing for dentists, marketing for lawyers, design services for SaaS, whatever it might be, you can advertise on Google Ads for what people are searching for. With Facebook, it's a little bit different. So with Facebook, you should advertise to something that's potentially free or low cost, something that hits curiosity because you're interrupting people while they're looking at cats and bikinis or whatever they're looking at. So you want to advertise to some kind of free product or a masterclass. And that can just be a video of you explaining how they can get more clients or how they can get more sales or automate something or save time. And the masterclass can have a call to action to a call or to the offer. Now, you can hide the masterclass behind an email if you want to collect emails. You could send the ad straight to the masterclass. It's up to you, but I think getting the email, it gives you an opportunity then to kind of remarket to them. With the ads as well, anyone that clicks the masterclass, anyone watches the video, you can retarget with Facebook ads. Very important. People that have already seen you before are more likely to buy. Also with Facebook, it depends on your offer, but you can actually just directly advertise to the offer. And that's something we do with Fat Joe. We directly advertise the offer because we do have low ticket items. We do some masterclass stuff for high ticket items as well. So, we do a bit of both. But yeah, that's basically the overall master plan of scaling your agency so fast that it feels illegal. The main point of this is that you are not getting bogged down with the work. So if you want to find out more about getting clients, go to 7 Days, 7 Clients. And if you want to, 7clients7days.com. And if you want to learn more about building, growing an agency, go to scalers.so. And this has actually got a niche agency database, which you might find interesting too, where we are showing lots of niche agencies you can be inspired by. Anyway, that's it for today.